Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the phone. Well, I'm on the show. I messed it up, didn't I? Hello. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the show tonight. And I put my phone away. We'd love to hear from you. We have a phone number up there that you can call if you'd like to give us a call. Also, email address, which is most likely is up there. If not, it's KECHOLS47 at gmail.com. So you can give us a call or send us an email, whichever works best for you. Have a couple of emails standing by over here, um, one of which says this. Well, now I can't find it. Oh yeah, here it is. Um, Ken, can you give me the latest? Can you give me the latest on the Supreme Court election that's not over yet? They tried to take that to federal court. Is the federal court going to hear that? I mean, it's the one for the state Supreme Court. What is it doing now? What it's doing now is pretty much same thing it's been doing for quite some time now. The uh, the Riggs campaign took it to federal court, and they asked the federal court to take it over because it had potential violations of federal law. So the federal court listened to it and said, "Excuse me." Federal court listened to it and said, well, we're going to send this back to the state court for right now. Go ahead and let this run through the state courts, through the state Supreme Court, the federal court said. And then the federal court said, if the state Supreme Court overturns the election, if the state Supreme Court overturns this election based on the issues presented here, then come back to federal court because then it may well be that there will be a violation of federal voting guarantees if this election gets overturned by the North Carolina Supreme Court. So that's what they got. It stays in state court right now. Uh, because the federal court basically says unless they overturn the election, then no law has been violated. But if they do overturn the election, then there is a possibility. I'm not saying for sure, but if they do overturn it, it is possible that a federal law will have been violated. So they come back and see us then. So there's that. It probably will get to the state Supreme Court relatively quickly. It's got to get through Superior Court first, and then probably Court of Appeals, and then eventually to the state Supreme Court. So we'll see what happens. If I find out anything, I'll tell you. I really will. Ken, it was an interesting discussion last night that everybody got into, though they didn't anybody expect that. No, they didn't expect it, but it was an interesting discussion. Um, you said that you thought that the more countries that have nuclear weapons, the greater the chance that there'll be a mistake or an act of a crazy guy or something that might start a nuclear war. And it seems to me that you have that right. I think it only stands to reason that if there are 13 countries with nuclear weapons, there is a chance of something unforeseen happening that could be very terrible. If there are 50 countries with nuclear weapons, then there's more of a chance of something terrible happening. I think that's just common sense. Oh, all right, emailer. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then there's this one, a different topic altogether. Ken, give me the number for that stew you talked about last night. And this, after all, is really important stuff that we do here is we let you know when stew is available. The number is, well, I'll give you a chance to get pencil and paper handy. It's the Mayodan Boy Scouts cooking this stew on February 22nd. It's $9 a quart. And if you want to order some, the number to call is this number, 336 949 4248. 336 949 4248 is the number to call. Okay. This emailer says, Ken, what is the current price of eggs? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody want to look up the current price of eggs? Excuse me again. I don't know if it's the weather's changing and pollen is getting loose, but it seems like my allergies are back active again. Can somebody look up the price of eggs, please? And because I'm interested myself, I should have looked it up earlier. It is it's a pertinent question right now. What's the price of eggs? Here is here's a really nice picture. Hang on one moment. Here's a nice picture from Mr. Draper of decals on, oh man, decals on the rudder of the boat. Let me, excuse me, enlarge that so I can get a better look at that. Oh, that looks nice. That looks really, they're rudder decals on the rudder of the airboat. Folks, you're going to be crazy when, not be crazy. Well, you may be, you're going to go crazy when the public finally gets a full look at this boat, which maybe will be sometime this spring, because that boat looks really, really good. Thank you, Mr. Draper, for sending that along. We do appreciate it. The phone line is open. That's assuming that the phone works. What if it works? Yeah, it works. Phone line is open. There's a number on your screen. You can give us a call or you can send us an email at kechOLS47@gmail.com. That is the number to call. Somebody, speaking of eggs, there's an email back up here about the bird flu. Ken, I read that there are now 3 different kinds of bird flu working their way through chickens in our country. And I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, but what I read is it might be weeks or it might even be months before the price of eggs will come down again. This is driving me crazy because I love my eggs and I cannot believe that I'm having to pay this much for eggs. What if I had my own chickens? Well, here's an interesting thing. What if I had my own chickens? And they would lay me my own eggs. They certainly would lay you your own eggs. But how would I keep my chickens from having the bird flu? Well, I guess the best way, I'm not an expert on this. It would seem to me the best way would be to not let them come in contact with anybody else's chickens. I guess the real trick is how do you know where are you going to get your chickens and how will you be sure that your chickens have not been exposed to bird flu before you get them? I don't know the answer to that. I'm pretty sure that if you get chickens and your chickens are okay when you get them, you should be able to keep them relatively safe if you keep them confined and isolated. I don't know if you have a chicken coop, a chicken house, you're going to build one. I don't know what you have, But if they're going to be running around outside, it's not easy to keep chickens in one place if they're free to run outside, even if you've got a fence. They know how to deal with a fence when they want to. So I don't know, email. It's a good question. It'd certainly be nice to be able to get your own eggs for free from your own chickens every day. What I guess I would recommend, and I cannot, as I sit here, think of something better. Why don't you call the County Extension Service out there at Wentworth? I think the County Extension Service, I believe, is still in full vigor. Call the County Extension Service and you tell them, say, look, I want to get some chickens, and I want to know how to be safe. How do I minimize the risk that they will have been exposed to bird flu before I get them? And once I get them, how do I minimize the risk that they might get exposed to bird flu after that? And the folks at the County Extension Service, gosh, they know a whole lot more, a whole lot more about chickens than I know. Those are the folks to ask. I would call them tomorrow, is what I would do, and find out about that. That is I mean, that is a good idea. If you've got your own chickens and you know they're okay, then you know your eggs are okay. Plus, your eggs don't cost you anything, which makes it all even better. So good luck with that. Uh, in fact, if you would, if you talk to the Extension Service and if you find out about chickens and if you in fact get chickens, send us another email and let us know what sort of progress you make on that, because we'd certainly like to hear about that. And if it's going to be months before the price of eggs come down, there might be more people who will be giving some thought to getting their own chickens and their own eggs. Um, what is this, Ken? What is this, Ken, about Carolina getting a general manager for the basketball team? I've never heard of a college team with a general manager. I thought that was a professional sports thing. Is that the truth? It's the truth. Um, college sports has changed. College sports has always been sort of minor league professionals. Well, maybe not always. Probably in 1920, college sports would not have been properly described as minor league professional sports. But certainly in our lifetimes, and more than ever now, uh, colleges are basically minor league teams for professional soccer. That's what they are, especially in basketball and football. So college sports becoming more and more like professional sports. So anyway, there are a whole lot of colleges now who have general managers for their football teams, maybe most for their football teams, and a whole lot who have general managers for their basketball team. And I know it sounds crazy, um, but the thing of it is that in college now, more and more players go to the school that offers them the most money. That's right. They're amateurs, right? They're amateurs. They don't get paid, except now they do with NIL, name, image, likeness. College players now get money for allowing their pictures and their names and themselves to be used in advertising. So, what colleges are doing now, especially the ones who have a lot of money, they are putting together packages, NIL packages, whereby they can guarantee a player, say this player out here, we want to recruit this player to come to our college, and we can guarantee you, young man, or maybe even young woman in some cases, we can guarantee you that if you come and play here, you will get $5 million a year. in NIL money, and that's not far-fetched. In fact, it goes even more than that. Duke University, that bastion of academic purity and excellence, Duke University is paying $8 million for a quarterback to transfer from Tulane to Duke next year. 5 million, 8 million, it goes up from there. So the gist of it is colleges have decided that the coach, the football coach or the basketball coach is just not going to, too busy to handle all this alone. So they're hiring general managers basically to, for lack of a better word, to locate and hire the players that they want to come and play at their school. North Carolina, UNC basketball has not done this to this point. They've been trying to do it the old-fashioned way. And you might have noticed that the old-fashioned way is not working real well. Real well right now for North Carolina basketball. So it has been announced that UNC will now join the herd and hire a general manager for basketball next year so that they can get money in place to hire the players that they need. Here's something about chickens. Chicken information has just arrived. The cost of housing chickens. Now, this is interesting. You'll want to know this. The cost of housing them chickens, feed and all. My two friends did raise chickens for 2 years. They got tired of caring from them daily and ate them. Well, that's one way to solve the problem. Call or go to Tractor Supply where they sell the chicks. Ask them your questions. And don't forget, and I didn't mention this, which in my ignorance, I didn't think of this. You also got to consider not only bird flu, but what it's going to cost you to feed and look after those chickens. And the cost will be non-zero to maintain your chickens. So this is good advice here. Tractor Supply sells the little chicks, so they'll be able to answer all your questions. That's it. Call Tractor Supply. Are we sure the phone works? I'm going to check the phone. Phone seems to me the phone. Somebody ought to have been on the phone by now. Yeah, it sounds like the phone works. Is all these things in their proper place? I don't mind me, folks. I'm just doing some testing here. Sure looks like the phone works. Somebody call. There is the phone number up there that you can call, and we'd like to hear from you on the phone. So do that. Meanwhile, the email address is kechhols47@gmail.com. So you can email us or give us a call, whichever way works best for you. Ken, when are you going to start taking predictions? When are you going to start taking predictions for the Daytona 500? It is just less than 2 weeks from now. So I am ready with my prediction for the Daytona 500. Can I give it to you now? And then the emailer goes ahead and gives it to me. So all I got to do is find a writing implement. Got one in here. Yeah, here's one. No, not that one. This is live TV, folks. So don't be concerned about whatever you see going on here. So I can't get that pencil out of that jar. Now I got it. And my ear thing fell out. So I'll just retrieve that. This is how it works in live television. Nobody minds. All right, email us. Here's my prediction for the Daytona 500. By the way, I am a new participant in your NASCAR contest this year. So, folks, we got a new one. We have new blood coming. You can call me Mr. NASCAR. That's pretty presumptuous name there, Mr. NASCAR. You can call me Mr. NASCAR. Write that down. And my pick for the Daytona 500 is the number 11, Denny Hamlin. Okay, there it is. First pick for the 2025 Daytona 500 from Mr. NASCAR. And the pick is Denny Hamlin. Okay, Mr. NASCAR, it is in the book. Hey, Ken, I had chickens a couple of summers ago, and I couldn't keep them under control. I built them a house. Well, I didn't really build it. I bought them a house in the backyard, and they would sleep in it, but they wouldn't stay in it any other time. And I could go out there any time in the middle of the day, and I didn't see a chicken in sight anywhere because they'd all be scattered all over the neighborhood doing who knows what. At the at the end of the day, they would come back home to roost in their house, but I don't know where they went the rest of the day, and I don't know where they laid the eggs. You'd think You'd think they would lay the eggs in the chicken house. Isn't that what they're supposed to do? I think that's yeah, what that's the idea. That's sort of what we prefer that they do. You'd think they'd lay the eggs in the chicken house, but they didn't. I don't know where they laid them. Somebody was getting free eggs from my chickens, but it wasn't me. So I finally decided not to have them anymore. However, I did not eat them like the person you mentioned earlier. After I after I had gotten to know them so well, I didn't have the heart to eat them, but I did rehome them to somebody else. As far as the cost, if I could have actually got the eggs, if I could actually have got the eggs, I would have been ahead. The eggs would have been worth more than what it cost me to feed them. But since I didn't get the eggs, it was all one-sided. Okay, there's a different there's a different experience that somebody had with chickens, and they will do that. They don't necessarily lay the eggs where you want them to. They will, by and large, I think, by and large, they will kind of lay eggs where they live, but it's not a sure thing because I had a neighbor with chickens. This was not real recent. This was probably 10 years ago. I had a neighbor. The neighbor down on that side had chickens. And they were in my yard a whole lot, and they were in everybody's yard a whole lot. But they would lay eggs. They laid eggs in my yard. I would go out in the backyard to cut the grass or whatever, and I'd get to a place where there's tall grass, and there'd be an egg in there. Sometimes I'd find two or three eggs in the yard in a day. Now I'm a good neighbor, and I gathered those eggs up and I took them next door and gave them to the neighbor. But not everybody would do that. There are people in this world. There are people who would just snatch those eggs up and take them in the house. So that's another thing to consider when you have your chickens. It is possible that they will lay eggs, but they won't lay them where you expect. Possibility. I really think something weird's going on with the phone. Because it's very strange. Oh, that's definitely weird. Very strange for it to have gone this long without without a call. That's strange. That's weird. Don't know what to make of it. Anyway, if somebody try it, if somebody has tried to call and not been able to get through, let me know. So I have some clue as to what's with the phones, because I don't remember ever getting this far without anybody calling. That looked good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe this is wrong. Oh, it looks all right. All right, folks, somebody call. Here we go. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, I called just now and it immediately said leave a message. I called
Okay.
right back and then I called right back and then I got you.
Well, it's the internet. Who knows what goes on the internet? Anyway, here you are, so go ahead.
It's not true. Well, I just called in because you asked if phone's working. I'm going to wait to call in on my talk in just a little bit.
Okay, well, think it over.
Okay, I just making sure the phone working.
Okay, thanks. All right, folks, that was only a test. That was not an actual call. That was only a test, which determines that the phones are working. And it seems that maybe they weren't working for a while, but I don't see, I didn't change anything, so I don't know why that would be. Anyhow, hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please. And the call cuts off. Let's try this one. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Oh, there you are. Good evening.
Yeah, I've been trying. Little brother's been trying. Hold on. The pick from Daytona.
Oh, yeah. You ready?
Yes, Charleston Danville is ready to predict the winner.
Okay, hang on. What? Who is it?
The Watermelon Man.
Number 1, Ross Chastain. Charles from Danville takes the 1. Did you see him? Did you see him on TV the other night? He's had his hair cut shorter.
I didn't get to see much because I had to go to work the next day.
Oh, well, of course, that's right. Yeah, he's got had like a buzz cut. Still got the bushy beard, but his hair's a lot shorter. Maybe that'll change his look this year.
Okay, I got a Masked Singer update.
Masked Singer update. We are ready.
February the 12th, Channel 8. 8 p.m. on your local Fox station.
February 12th, 8 o'clock, your local Fox station. Masked Singer.
Yes, sir. I had to go to Google.
All right. Well, now and then we get in situations in life where we have to go to Google. You don't need to apologize.
Oh, okay. I hope Mark Mayadan's listening. Hope he calls in and acknowledge it
He will.
and all that. Well, I got to go back and finish my champagne.
Okay. Did you get the good stuff from CVS?
No, I got the good stuff from the liquor store.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy and don't drive afterward.
Oh, I'm not driving the moped at night. It's too cold.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Bye, sir.
Okay, there's one phone line is open still now, and to that number on your screen. And I don't know why you couldn't get through for the first half hour, but you couldn't, and looks like now you can. Emailer says, Ken, I've been calling and couldn't get through. All right, emailer, I'm sorry about that, but if you'll make that call right now, you will be able to get through, just like this. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken.
Yes.
Everybody, man, everything was high with Joe Biden. But I heard on the news since Trump got it, the president, everything from the United States is going up. I work at Food Line, the eggs and milk, the sure enough don't went up. And all them who voted for Trump that have to deal with it. They voted for Trump, so I ain't need them Ken to vote saying that stuff is up. I ain't need them complaining about nothing. Because they voted for that fool Trump. And Ken, you're doing a good job and keep it doing it.
Well, thank you, sir. Sir, can I ask you a question? Are you still there? Okay, well, he has hung up. I was going to ask him what eggs we're selling for today, because I haven't found out yet. Anyway, phone line is open at that number. You can give us a call right there, or you can send us an email if you want to take part in this edition of Star Talk, and we hope you will. Okay, we'll hold that one and we'll do this. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken,
Yes.
this is Briscoe from Hartsville.
Hey, Briscoe.
I got something weird.
What is it?
I think I called you about it, same thing, a couple of years ago.
What was it?
But my power bill, power meter reading.
Oh, yeah. What's happening with that?
Okay, I'm retired, and I read my power meter in the afternoon every day and subtract yesterday's from today, see what my reading is and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just the lack of anything better to do.
Okay.
Okay, I read my meter on Tuesday, February the 4th, in the afternoon, and the meter reading was 59072.
Okay.
Kilowatt hours usage of 23.
All right.
The next day, February the 5th, on Wednesday, at 3:33 p.m., I read my meter, and it was 57,107. Negative of over almost 900 kilowatt hours.
It went down.
Went down. I went out there 3 hours later at 6:27 p.m. today, and it's 57,111, which is a kilowatt hour usage of 4. That
Okay.
just proves that the power company is controlling your meter reading. For mine to go down almost 1,000, it did it several years ago, and then the next day, if I can remember, the meter reading the next day was the same as it was the day before, with 0 usage. And then the following day, it went back to normal.
Briscoe, I don't know anything about meters. So I don't know how to explain that. It does sound a little bit out of the ordinary to me, though, I have to say.
That's exactly right. Like I said, Tuesday, it was 59,072. On Wednesday, it's 57,107 today. That's down 900 and some kilowatt hours.
Have
and I'm
you?
just hoping they don't drop back to 57 as my beginning reading, and then read it again, it's backed up to 59,000. Then I've got a kilowatt average usage of 1,000 or more.
Well, what about your bill? What about your bill, Briscoe? Does it go way up and way down?
Well, it's way up in February and March, just like this year. I'm looking at my power bill right now. The beginning reading was 52,083 and went to 55,064, 3,000 kilowatt hours used, and it cost me, I think it was $287.
Okay.
Which is normal for the cold weather we've had.
Right, for winter.
Right, and this January, well, it shows January, but it was from 12/11 to 1/13. It was up over last year, but God, like I say, when the meter reading drops from 59,072 to 57,107, and then I read it 3 hours later, it's 57,111. that just shows you that the meter, the power company can control your bill by changing the meter reading.
Have you talked to the power company about this?
No, I just found out about it 3:33 this afternoon. I think I'm gonna call them tomorrow. If anybody
Well-
will talk to them, maybe drop by Energy United.
Well, I think I would, because I mean, I don't know why it would do that. And again, I don't know anything about this, but it does not sound to me like the way things ought to go. I would talk to the power company about it.
I think I will. Well, Energy United, they've got a place up 220 going towards Madison. I think I might drop by there tomorrow. And sure, like I said, I've been with a notebook I'm looking at. Let's see what I've been reading meters. My meter every day in this notebook since 2018.
Oh, okay. Well, you
So
have a lot
I
of data there.
I read the meter every day. Maybe before June of 2018, and it's just stupid.
Well, it's strange. But whatever, let us know what the power company says about that. I'd be very
Okay.
interested in that.
You know, if they can drop your meter reading by 900 or 1,000 kilowatt hours, they can also jack it up 100,
Well,
200, or whatever to make
yeah,
extra profit. I don't know.
that would stand to reason that they would be able to do that. Keep us posted on that.
I sure will. Thank you very much for talking to me, Ken.
Well, thank you, Briscoe. Thanks for calling. That is, I mean, again, that's something I don't really know anything about. That's one of the many, many things that I don't really know anything about. But it doesn't sound it doesn't sound quite right to me, to tell you the truth. Oh gosh, speaking of not sounding quite right, we'll get back to that in a second. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
What's going on, Ken? I finally got you. I've been calling on since 7 o'clock. I didn't leave you more voicemails you don't see. It says leave a message.
Well, I'm sorry. Something was wrong somewhere. That's an internet phone, and something was going on wrong somewhere. But now we got you.
Mr. Draper got in talking to you, and I called right behind him and still went to, said leave a message.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but it seems to be working now.
Oh, no, it's all right. Yeah, I said, well, something's wrong. I said, had nobody. I've been trying to call in, go to you, leave a message. And then I said, well, I'm going to wait. So I waited and waited. And then you finally spoke up and said, well, you know, it's funny, ain't nobody called in. And you took your hand, put it over your forehead looking.
Yeah.
You said, well, everything looks all right. But something was wrong. Like you said, it was the internet.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and pick my Daytona.
All right.
Driver too.
Early bird.
I'm thinking.
Early bird. Who are you gonna take?
I think I'm gonna take Joe Logano.
Okay. So we got Hamlin, we got Chastain, and Early Bird has Logano. It's in the book.
Okay, kid. Yeah, about that guy called in. The president ain't got nothing to do with eggs prices. It's a bird flu.
It is bird
He's talking
flu.
about the Trump. And Trump ain't got nothing to do with the birds. He wants to buy a Gaza Strip to turn into a Riviera.
Yeah, that's
what he said
what's on his mind right now. As far as the eggs go, I think we're in for a bad time with the eggs for a while longer.
Yes, bird flu's got something to do with it. It ain't got nothing to do with politics.
No, that one's not a political issue.
And I've seen on the news too where they caught this guy out there in California trying to start a fire.
Yeah, that's all they need.
They called him. Citizens called him. People called him until the law got there. Yeah, he didn't set one spot on fire. The fireman put it out.
I just, I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't know why people behave the way they do.
I,
It's crazy.
I don't know either. And I don't think he was from here, from America. I think he was.
I don't.
You
I haven't heard anything about. I know they caught the guy. I've not heard any information about him. I don't know.
I've seen this a while ago on the news. When I couldn't get you, I was going back to the Inside Edition or whatever was on, and it was telling about that guy was trying to them people run him down and caught him to the law got him.
Well, thank goodness somebody was there to see him and do something
Yes,
about
sir,
it.
Ray. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll let you go. So somebody else call in. Have a good night, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. So Early Bird has Logano for Daytona. We have an email from Pretty Man. If I would get a phone call right now, I'd be able to avoid it. Good, I can avoid reading the email from Pretty Man. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, can I call now?
Yeah, this is your official call.
Okay. Hey, did you read the information that you probably didn't, because I got it from a special source who I can't indulge because, well, he got a job for the government, so I can't say who gave me this information.
Okay.
The girl, I could read it verbatim. The girl who was flying that helicopter that hit that plane.
Yeah.
Okay. She was a hardcore Democrat. She was a total Biden supporter. That she was at the White House doing his flights and things.
Okay.
And she was affected by DEI, according to her mom and dad. Her whole entire account of everything about her was wiped clean.
All right.
And her mom said she was ate up with DEI.
All right.
Diversity, equity, inclusion, because she was going to lose her position because she was gay.
Okay. No, I
She was
didn't.
transsexual. She was going to lose her position. She crashed that helicopter on purpose and killed all of them people because what was going to take place was her.
I don't think we know that, do we?
Yes, we do. I could, in a few days, I can tell you where the information comes from, but I can't until it comes out from another source.
All right.
Okay. Now it's proven. Let me do just a little thing right here real quick, and won't take me but a second. And I'm there now. And they're making a new Lay's potato chip flavor. It's called ibuprofen flavor. Yeah.
I don't know.
Captain Rebecca
Lobach
is a 28-year-old with less than 500 hours of flight time, which is very inexperienced as a pilot. She was Biden White House admin who is fully woke and a progressive activist Democrat. She was a Black Hawk helicopter pilot that drove straight into a commercial airline, killing 66 people. She was illegally flying more than double the height altitude required for helicopters in the area. Her family had her name hidden from the press so they could scrub her social media from her severe Trump derangement syndrome. For those who saw her social media before the scrub, she was unhinged and she appeared ready to self-delete her life for the left-wing woke beliefs.
Okay, and you can't tell me.
I got a picture of her standing right beside Joe Biden.
Can't tell me where you're reading that though.
No, I can when it comes out. This was emailed to me. I can when it comes out in a different format.
Okay.
But I can't be the one. I can't be the one to release it. I just told it on air, but I didn't release it on media.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, all right. And Briscoe, he's got an old meter. My meter for 15 years hasn't had numbers on it. I can't read my meter. And maybe what he should do if he has a close neighbor is go check his neighbor's meter and compare it for about a week or so with his meter, or just check his neighbor's and see how it changes in comparison to his.
Okay, well, that's a good suggestion.
You know,
Maybe Briscoe will hear that.
And Briscoe can get him a smartphone And where he buys it from, they can set it up to talk text, and he'll never have to push a button other than, "Hey Google, what is this? Hey Google, do that for me. Hey Google, where is this at? Hey Google, what is going on here?" That's all he's got to do is talk to him instead of worry about pushing buttons and stuff.
Well, I don't know if Briscoe is into that technology to that extent.
I know it, but that'd be an easy way for him to do it. Is have the store set it up. Anybody can set it up, but it'd be easy for the store, and he can get a free phone, and just have him set it up to talk. Talk text, talk voice, whole 9 yards.
Well, maybe he'll try
just
that.
A thought, just a thought.
I had a good thought too. Thank you.
No?
Oh, hey,
All
wait,
right, bye-bye.
wait, hey,
Oh.
hey.
Yay.
You ready to make your pick for Daytona, or do you want to wait?
Oh yeah, I meant to go ahead and pick my man Larson because it's a stretched out track and he stretch it out.
All righty. I think he's probably looking forward to it.
The only thing I think sometimes on these short tracks he just tries so hard that I don't know. He
All
either
right.
spins himself or people bump him. Anyway, okay. Have a good night.
Thanks for calling. Yeah, they do bump him every now and then. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken.
Yes.
Let me get one thing straight, please.
Okay.
All right. One thing that I want to say. Now, this is the same man that was telling us that Antifa were the ones that crashed the Capitol building on January the 6th. He said these were not Republicans. I got my source. Antifa was the one that crashed. So now, since the president bragging on these people as being patriotic, and since he has pardoned all these people, do you see the president pardoning Antifas?
I think it would be unlikely for the president to
I
pardon
think it would
Antifa.
be unlikely too. And this the same person that told us that Trump won the 2020 election. So, consider the source. And another thing, you talking about people spreading racism every time you turn around. When the plane first crashed, before any details come out of what, the president said it was diversity and DEI and all that he blamed the crash on. And so he blamed Biden, and Obama said they was responsible for these things and all like that. And another example, after he had Thanksgiving dinner with a white supremacist, this guy, I have facts. I don't come with no conspiracy. Darren J. Beatty, one of Trump's appointments for the State Department stated, and I quote, "Competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work." Yeah, that was a quote made by one of his appointments. And after the president accessed the blame to the crash within 24 hours, he insinuated that one's skin color or bloodline had an effect on one's IQ. Now, we talking about minorities flying and all. Is he, I know he don't read, but is he familiar with the Red Tail Squadron who flew many successful missions during the war?
I don't know who's familiar with what.
Okay. Also, does he realize who created and discovered plasma that have saved many lives? That was Charles Drew. And both of these groups were black men. And the story about the movie about Hidden Figures was a live story, Ken. That was not just a movie where these three black women figured out the formula for NASA to re-entry these people that had lifted in space on a satellite. So, for anyone to insinuate that any makeup, race, or bloodline is the reason for one intelligence and all, it's an insult to all intelligence. I came up during the time where they said the reason we didn't have black quarterbacks was because they weren't intelligent enough for that position.
I remember.
Now, huh?
I remember that.
Yeah. And now 3 of your top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL are black men, minority. So for these people to try to divide the country in some local, that your color or diversity or what is the reason for people intelligence and all, I hate to see people do that. I hate to see that. And that is nothing but pure racism. And I hate to see people get caught up in that. And Ken, thank you for your time. Enjoy your show, and appreciate you being neutral.
Thanks for calling. Good
Yes.
to hear from you. Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
One reference referred toward Mr. Draper from him as a damn lie.
Okay. All right. I don't want to get too far into that. Let's try over here. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Ken?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't agree with your last caller more. I mean, now that Biden's gone, they got to blame everything on DEI. I don't care if it's a plane crash or whatever it is. It's all got to do with DEI. So I guess that's going to be the scapegoat for the next 4 years.
Well, it's always been a controversial topic, going back to when it was affirmative action. It's something that people have never been able to agree on. Now it's DEI, and it's still something people are not able to agree on. And I don't know if there'll ever be a time when everybody will see that the same way.
It won't, Ken. I mean, racism's been around since day one, and it's going to continue to be around from now on, as long as you got people out there telling lies about this, that, and the other, and making excuses for their own faults. That's just the way they do it. And I saw Trump yesterday evening, with Benjamin Netanyahu, said that he wants to take the Gaza Strip.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw his press secretary today at lunch say, well, you can't expect anybody to want to live there under those conditions. I mean, it's blown to pieces. And I asked the question last night, why are they bombing the West Bank? I guess they want it to look like a Gaza Strip so they can take it too. Huckabee, who is the ambassador appointed by Trump for Israel, he said about 2 months ago that he didn't even think the Gaza Strip should be the Gaza Strip. It should be Israel also. So you can see what's going on with all of that.
Do you think that the president really is really contemplating taking the Gaza Strip, or do you think maybe he is saying that because he thinks it might be an impetus for the countries in the region to come up with some plan for it better than what we have?
Well,
I mean, do you take it literally? Do you think he literally is thinking about taking over the Gaza Strip?
Well, you could take anything Trump says with a grain of salt, Ken. I mean, look how he did the tariffs. I mean, he just threw that out there, I think, in my opinion, to cover up all the stuff that Elon Musk is doing. I mean, the president can't impose tariffs by itself. It has to go through Congress, or at
Well,
least it used.
he can. The president does have the authority. That is that is one of the authorities that Congress has given the president. He can impose tariffs.
Only on a national security situation, right? I mean, he just can't come out and say, "Okay, here's my executive order," and the heck with Congress.
On tariffs, he can. Yes.
I thought it had to be a national security risk before you could do that.
Not tariffs. There are a lot of things that do require national security, but he does have authority to over tariffs. That is something he has.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, but I look at it like this. I predict in the future that Netanyahu will end up bombing Iran. I mean, just wiping it out like he's done the Gaza Strip and anything else he wants to do. And, look how Biden kind of walked the fence before the election and didn't put a whole lot of pressure on Netanyahu to do this, do that, not publicly anyway. And then Trump walks in, and Netanyahu's always, been a sidekick to Trump. They always have. They always have been the Republican Party. But you never can tell with Trump.
Well, we're out of time.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks for calling. And that's all the time we have for Star Talk tonight and for this week. Actually, we're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you on Monday. Monday. All right. Bye. All right. Tariffs.